In this part of the video, we're going to concentrate a little bit more on the detailing here. For one thing, you will see that where this eave strut sits, if you look at the detail on 145, that's where we have to have a bracket that attaches to the column. And again, if you remember from the PowerPoint, this is typically welded in the shop. So I'm going to draw something that looks a little bit similar to that. It doesn't really give us any dimensions. But again, I'm going to offset this one a little bit more than what we've done on the other parts because it's a little bit thicker, as you see in the drawing. So I'm going to offset it 1/4 inch, and I'm going to offset it here, and I'm going to offset it here. And again, this typically has a rounded corner, but I'm just going to make it have a corner like that. And again, it's going to come out to about where the eave strut sets, and then it's going to come down a certain distance. So I'm going to offset this 3 inches. And I'm actually going to make that a straight line back over to the column. So I'm going to delete that. And I'm going to trim this off. And then you will see that it has a web in it. I'm going to draw a line from here to here. And that is a pretty good representation of what we need for that. Now the other thing that it has is it has a couple of bolts going through here because this is welded onto the column, but here when it gets in the field they have to bolt it. It says the bolts are 1/2 inch diameter by 1 1/4 in length. I'm going to, and it doesn't really give me the spacing on these, so I'm just going to kind of pick the middle. Going to offset it 1 inch in each direction. And again, I'm just going to leave these diagrammatic. Pull this up a little bit higher, and then I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to make these a line at the top. I'm going to copy that line down here. And I want it to go through, make sure it goes through that piece there, and I'm going to trim this off now and get rid of the lines that I don't need. And again, I'm going to make these my same layer as I did my anchor bolts and stuff, which was my rebar layer, so that they show up a little bit bolder. And for now, that's really all I need to add on to this. We will add the notes when we get ready to do the enlarged of this. At this point, we pretty much have everything on here that we need. To complete the other side, we are going to mirror this. Now, we are only going to put notes on one side because that's where our sections are all going through. So we're not going to put notes and such over here, but we do need to show the rest of the building. I'm going to do a mirror, and I'm just going to select everything, and I'm going to pick this center point, and I'm going to place it. Now the only thing that we're really missing is this center column. But our section here, we're not really cutting through that column, but we still need to see it in the background. So I'm going to draw some lines off of this and bring it down to my slab. And these are in the background. So I'm going to trim them off up here at the top. And there will be a line represented here at this midpoint down to here because these are going to come together at this point. There will not be a line between here and here, just where the rafters come together. And there's some detailing there that probably would come into play, but again, we're not going to get into that. I'm going to put these on a different layer because I don't want them to be as bold as my closer columns. We have a beam layer that is yellow. We have an anchor bolt layer that's yellow. We have a grid bubble. So really I need to probably create a new layer. So I'm going to call this S-column. When I go through this, I want it to still be in the same alphabetical order. And I'm going to say beyond because it's beyond my section. I'm going to change this to yellow. Now I can grab these two and put them on the correct layer. So you see I have S column, then I have S column beyond. So the next thing I need to do is I can go ahead and get rid of my columns up here, and I need to stretch my grid lines to where they're not clear across my sheet like that. And I need to bring my bubbles down. But again, I don't want to bring them down too close. I can adjust them later because I may need to put some notes or something up here to be able to see them. So now I basically have the entire rigid frame completed. The next thing I need to do is I need to start putting notes for each of my blow up areas. So that will be the next part of the project. We will start with the rigid frame notes and dimensions.